Hello, welcome to Unit 5 or Unit 4. I've had a question, lesson 5 related rates, and we're looking at part 2, question 30. So a dog runs across a bridge at 4 meters per second. The bridge is 5 meters above the water. So I'm going to go with let's call it a side view. So here's my bridge, here's my dog running that direction, water underneath. Fish is swimming underneath the dog, so my fish is down here. So that height is 5 meters. The fish is swimming 3 meters per second perpendicular, so the fish is actually moving out of the board or into the board, whichever direction you want. So at this point, I have change in rate of the dog with respect to time is 4 meters per second, and I'm just going to call it right, just to keep track of things. And df by dt, velocity of the fish, 3 meters per second, and I'm going to call it out just for argument's sake. Find the rate of the distance of change between the two animals. So if I do a top view, help visualize here. So here is dog running this direction. Here is fish traveling that direction. So again, we are looking for that distance between them at h, and this is similar to a 3D problem. So if I was to create a cube, we are finding the distance in 3 dimensions between one object. So here's my fish. The dog is running this distance. The fish has traveled this distance, and the bridge is 5 meters tall. So we're trying to find the distance, or how that distance from corner to corner of the cube is changing. All right. So because it's a 3D cube, the cube is 3D, because we're looking for the distance across the 3-dimensional shape, we're going to use our Pythagorean 3D formula. So Pythagorean theorem in 3D, where h squared equals a squared plus b squared plus c squared. So h squared equals, so I'm going to call the dog, for example, is a, so 2a dA by dt plus 2b dB by dt plus 2c dC by dt. All my, h should have been taking the derivative as well. 2h dH by dt. All my 2's drop out. Boom, 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 boom. I am solving for dH by dt, so that's what I'm trying to isolate for. Okay, I can find h. I'll have to use the formula to find that, so in 1 second I'll do that. I do know a, okay? That's going to be how far the dog has traveled after a second. I know his rate, dB by dt, let's call that the fish. I know how fast the fish is traveling, so that means I can tell you how far it went. The bridge, I can tell you that it's 5 meters, but the height of the bridge hasn't changed. So that's going to go to 0. So I'm really going to just have these two terms. So I'm going to have dH by dt equals a dA by dt plus d dB by dt over h. So I'm going to have to go ahead and calculate that value. And it's after 1 second. So it looks like it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle in 3D. Still, h squared equals a squared plus b squared plus c squared. So this is me finding my h value after a second. So the dog ran 4 meters. Fish swam 3 meters. And the bridge is 5 meters high. So that means h squared is equal to 16. 16 and 9, that's 25 plus 25, so square root of 50. And h equals root 50. And I'm going to save myself some time here. So that's like saying, 2 times 25 inside, so it'd be the same as 5 root 2. Is that necessary? No. Some of you will be using the calculator, and you'll give me a calculated value. That's fine. I just want to show you that it matches up with the answer above. So h is 5 root 2. So I'm going to go back up here. 5 root 2. So a, I said the dog traveled a total of 4 meters after a second. Dog was traveling at 4 meters per second. Fish swam 3 meters at 3 meters per second. So 16 and 9, that is 25 over 5 root 2. So at this point, in terms of my calculus course, you're going to get your full marks. Reducing it though, we would get 5 over root 2. And then you can't leave, in the pure math world, you can't leave it in that form. So that means your final answer to match up with what they have is 5 root 2 over 2 meters per second. But as I said, at this point here, I am a very happy teacher if you're able to get that far. And that's what I'm basically marking is your calculus process. So there you go. There's the solution. If you have any questions further to that, let me know.